Well, hello there. Welcome to this week's video. I'm Karen from karenantara.com. Now, before I get into this week's video content, and in case you don't listen all the way to the end, I would like to invite you to a free masterclass that I'm doing on the 17th of November. It's at 12 noon Sydney time. Now, I know that with time zones and people are busy, not everybody can attend live, so there will be a replay if you can't come live. This masterclass is called Get Aligned, Get Abundant, and it's all about how to manifest a magnificent soul-aligned life that allows abundance to flow to you, that allows you to grow your wealth and create a beautiful life, really. If you're interested to join, then put a comment below this video, wherever you see it, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever you find it, or Rumble. I'm on Rumble too. So put a comment below this video if you want to attend that class, and I will send you a link. Alternatively, you can DM me, Instagram or Facebook. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's video. I've called it, Are You Choosing Abundance or Scarcity and Lack? Now, with all the talk of global recession, the threats of a digital currency, bank bail-ins, the threats of another world war, you could be forgiven for thinking that focusing on abundance when the world is falling apart all around us is naive, or maybe even ludicrous. And yet, does it serve us any better to focus on the catastrophe? It's clear that there are many what we would call negative agendas at play here. And it seems that we have no power to change any of it. But is that really true? From a 3D mental mind perspective, it would appear that way, of course. But you and I know that we are so much more than just a 3D person, don't we? And we also know deep down that we create our own reality. Now, I know it can be hard to really believe that when we haven't fully created the life that we want yet. It's perhaps one of those things that you want to believe, but you could really do with some solid, hard evidence to prove that that is so, right? It's kind of one of those I'll believe it when I see it type of things. Well, if you could step back and look at your life from a higher perspective, you would see all the evidence that you need, that you have already and are constantly creating your own reality. It's been there your whole life. Well, certainly from your adult life anyway. And it becomes more and more evident actually as time goes by. You create your reality with your beliefs. What is going on the inside of you, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, and spiritually, is reflected outside of you. It also shows up in your health on a metaphysical level too. So you've probably heard about the power of the mind to heal the body. And with the power of the mind, you can also heal your life if you think it's broken. You can heal your finances if you are in lack. And you can completely shift your level of abundance if it's not where you want it to be. But only you can do that. And interestingly, even, a huge lottery win won't maintain an abundant life on the outside if you don't feel abundant on the inside. Abundance is a vibration. When you maintain it for long enough, it can't help but attract abundance to you. It's one of those universal laws that we should have been taught in school, really, but of course they're never going to teach us that. Not the way our current systems are set up, because it's about control. It's not about empowering us. Anyway, more commonly, we tend to hold a vibration of scarcity and lack. The problem is that we don't recognize that. Sometimes we've held that vibration of scarcity our whole lives. We've picked it up from our parents or our home life. It becomes the normal for us, actually, and we don't even know any different. It's like we don't even know it's a thing, really. And we certainly don't know that we can choose to change it. Poverty consciousness shows up in a multitude of ways. When we have it, it is like one of those invisible things that we can't quite put our finger on why we can't get ahead. Why we only ever have just enough to get by, or sometimes don't even have enough to get by. When you train yourself to identify poverty consciousness or scarcity or lack consciousness, when you train yourself to spot it in yourself, you can also then begin to convert it to abundance consciousness. And obviously, that's what I'm all about, helping you to identify that so that you can change it. When we change ourselves on the inside, everything changes on the outside, simply because we choose different things. And then we get different outcomes. It seems completely obvious when you say it that way, right? We change the people we hang out with, we change the places that we go, we change the food that we eat, we change the books that we read, we change all of the experience that we have in life. What we focus on changes us when we are conscious. When we are unconscious, we have no idea that we're actually creating our reality because we're not conscious. So the problem is that most of us are in an unconscious state when it comes to this. Power, abundance, all of that stuff. We literally don't know our own power. And again, it's because we were never taught it. Nobody ever said to us, well, certainly they didn't say to me, you are powerful and you can create an amazing life. Nobody ever said that to me. I say it to myself, but nobody said it to me. And nobody ever says to us, you are born abundant. You are born with everything you need to create an amazing life right there inside of you. If we hear that as an adult, yeah, I was definitely an adult before I heard anything like that. If we hear it as an adult, our next thought is often something like, yeah, I know that, but I don't know how to find it, or I don't know what to do with it, or yeah, I know that, but what? It's kind of like we know it's within us, but we have no clue how to find it or what to do with it if we do find it. And I think it's because we were never really taught to listen to our heart or to connect with our soul. In fact, some people don't even know they have one. And maybe some people don't, looking at the state of affairs in the world, right? Anyway, let's move on from that, shall we? When we do know that we have this power inside of us, when we can be internally guided by our own higher power, then we can, it naturally leads us towards our purpose and towards what is in most alignment for us. What is it that we are most aligned to? And that's really where the treasure lies, I think, because the abundance that we seek is there. The fulfillment, the happiness, the joy, the sense of freedom that so many people are still searching for is right there inside of them. It's kind of like hidden in plain sight. But it does require a shift of consciousness to get to it, to find it. And it can't be done from a 3D mind. True abundance, actually, in my opinion, is a spiritual experience. Many people have money, but it doesn't mean that they are any more evolved. Certainly doesn't mean that they're spiritual necessarily. Money alone doesn't make people feel happy or at peace. They may get the freedom to do what they want in life, but if they have not evolved on the inside, they will still come across things that challenge them to evolve, because our natural state is to grow, expand, evolve. A little bit like when you plant, a seed. Its natural state is to, start to sprout and reach towards the light, right? We're no different from plants in that respect, unless we resist with the 3D mind, which is why it's so important to get out of the 3D mind. So even with a lot of money, people will always have challenges that are encouraging them to evolve. So it could be that they struggle in relationships. They could be very lonely because they can't do relationship. It could be health challenges that they have to go through. It could be a deep sadness that they feel, an emptiness, empty on the inside, because they have a knack for making money, but it means nothing to them without love or a feeling of purpose. True abundance, in my opinion, gives us all of that, all the things that people are missing when it's just about money for them. The funny thing is that when you feel a deep sense of purpose, fulfillment, love and peace and all the good things, when you feel that on the inside, then money does flow more easily to you. It's quite natural. It's one of those weird things that you just can't wrap your head around until you get there, and then you go, oh, I get it now, I feel it. It's an experience. It's not something that you can really grasp. It's just a concept otherwise. The problem comes, though, even when you think that you're feeling peaceful and joyful and abundant on the inside, the problem can still be that you reject all of the goodness that wants to come to you. So you reject happy relationships. You reject money. Yeah, it's hard to imagine, isn't it, rejecting what we say we want when it wants to come to us. But in fact, that's exactly what many of us do. It's an unconscious thing, of course. And that's why working on ourselves is so important. That's why we do the deep work. We do the shadow work. It's the work that people don't want to do. Sometimes they even fear doing because they don't know what they're going to find on the inside. Some of us are so kind of disconnected with our feelings because of what we've been through in life, that the thought of going deep inside to find these glorious treasures that we have inside, even that can feel scary. We might have fear about going inside. Yet that's where the gold is, literally. So when you clear up the lower emotions that are connected to lack and scarcity, not just in money, but it could be in love, in connection, all of that stuff. When you clear all of that up, a lightness comes upon you and you naturally raise your vibration. That in turn attracts more abundance to you, because abundance is a higher frequency state of being. So as you raise your vibration on the inside by clearing up doing your shadow work, your inner work, you attract more abundance to you. Not necessarily just money, but a feeling of love and joy and peace and harmony and balance and freedom. All the good stuff, as I call it. But when you have more of that in and around you, you really do see the world as a much more beautiful place. And the more you see that beauty and the good in the world, the more it unfolds, expands, and amplifies. And the opposite is true too, of course. When you focus on the dark, scary situations that the world has to offer, you see more of it and it expands too. It's equal and opposite because 3D Earth is a place of duality. People say that we are moving to 5D, to a higher vibrational place where there's love and peace. Yet they focus so heavily on the dark and traumatic things that are happening all around us. They focus so much on their lack and scarcity. They will never be able to hold their consciousness or vibration at that higher level, at 5D, for long enough to ever fully experience abundance. Actually, I don't like saying 3D and 5D, really, because it is much more than that, but it's an easier way of saying what most people will understand. I'm a fan of being aware of what's happening in the world around us, though, I've got to say. Not to focus on it, but so that you understand how it wants to manipulate your consciousness, to align to it, to feed it. I think it's really important to understand how it all works. We're talking about energetics, how the energy works here. It's a trickster energy, and this is where you need to take your power back from. And you need to say, okay, I see you. I see what you're doing. I see that you're trying to get me into fear so that I lower my vibration and I stay stuck in this realm, this lower 3D reality, if you like. I see that you're trying to prevent me from evolving and accessing my own power so that I, together with many other conscious people around the world, so that we're thwarted in our attempts to create a beautiful world of abundance for all of us, a new earth. But I say to you that the light always wins. The truth always comes out. And we see you. We see the darkness that is trying to come across this world and take us down. We see what you're doing, and we do not consent, and we will not participate. And that's what we have to do, be in that state, because we are witnessing the end of times here, folks. Stay true to the path of light, and we will see a beautiful new day on a beautiful new earth timeline in due course. But we have to stay the course. We just need to have stamina, commitment, and more focus on what we do want to see and experience, rather than the focus on what we don't want to experience. And it starts within us. It's the micro and the macro. I always talk about that. What you have going on the inside of you is what you will see reflected on the outside and all around you. If you are at war with yourself because you don't like parts of yourself, because you feel unworthy, because you say bad things about yourself, maybe because you're stuck in trauma of something that you've experienced in this life. If you are dark on the inside and at war with yourself on the inside, you will see the darkness and the war that is all around you on the outside. And the opposite is true. If you love yourself, if you value and accept yourself, if you trust yourself, if you see the beauty that is within you and the power that is within you, not from an egotistical point of view, but from just a natural state of being a powerful creator, human. If you see all of the goodness in you, then you will see that on the outside. And your thoughts, your choices, your consciousness, your vibration will create more and more of that on the outside. And that's what I encourage you to do. I'm always keen for people to do the deep inner work, the shadow work. Of course, it can be emotional, and sometimes you need support in that. So if you would like my support to help you to do that, then I'm here for you. That's what I love to help people do. to shift out of darkness into light. It's always been my purpose. So that's it from me for today. Focus on the light, always. And a quick reminder as well, if you do want to join my upcoming live masterclass, Get Aligned and Get Abundant, send me a DM or comment below and I'll send you the link. And there will be a replay of this class. So even if you come across this video, this invitation afterwards, oh, did you see that funny little thing that's come up on my screen? That's weird, isn't it? AI, I don't like you, go away. Where was I? What I was saying is, even if you come across this invitation to join this masterclass later on, after the class has taken place, there will be a replay available. You can still ask me for that link. You won't miss out. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful to you. I look forward to seeing you soon. Have a great week. Bye-bye.